I trip, I go to the hole with a rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening to us on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review for Eazy, for Chris, and Michael Gentry, Trader G, making his return.
The Prince.
In the building.
Trader G, the soft ass. What'd you say? No.
Oh, man.
Only the OGs know.
That shit's so fucking funny, dude. Make sure you like and share the stream for the Prince. I'm Spencer. We got totally We got a big show lined up for you guys.
Oh, man.
We got Nolan Bianchi coming on. We got Herman Moore coming on. We got John Macaroon coming on. We're talking a lot of Lions. So I'll be ready for it. I'm excited. Easy, first things first. What the fuck happened to the Pistons last night?
I wish I had an answer for you, man. Chris, I'm gonna go to you because you actually posted a video last night on our YouTube channel about it.
Yeah, it was incredibly frustrating to watch Cade Cunningham shoot 13 of 16 from the floor and play every minute of the second half, including late in the fourth quarter, getting a chase down block. Dude was playing it like it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and he just had nothing around him, no help, and it was just a terrible sight to watch against a Brooklyn Nets team where, again, I kind of conditioned myself to think this is the worst roster in the league, but it's really not. It's really not when you think about it. It's not the worst roster. It's near the bottom, but not the worst. So they should be able to win some of these games, especially a game like that when Cade was clearing away the best player on the floor. He should be able to take you home. But the problem is he had nothing. I'm telling you, look, this is what this man needed last night. This man needed Looney Tune Michael Jordan. That's the only way Cade Cunningham was going to get a win. So I'm wearing this jersey in honor of Cade Cunningham today because he balled out, he did his thing. And it's not on him. It's on everybody else.
Who's it on?
It's on Wiseman first. Wiseman, I literally tweeted late in the third quarter, I said the Pistons will win this game if Wiseman just doesn't play the fourth. And sure enough, he comes in, and he's in for 3 possessions. A defensive possession, he gets worked in the paint. Then on offense, he runs and brings his man after Ivy beats his man for a layup. And so then Ivy gets blocked by Wiseman's man. And then Wiseman gives up an and one on the other end of the floor. So in the span of 30 seconds, this guy costed this team, 7 points? And they needed every point they could get. And then don't even get me started on Alec Burks shooting the last shot.
I was going to say, yeah, you missed the key part there. That was like suicide for him. He's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Is that what that was? Or like, did my man really think he was going to make the shot? Did he think he was the person to take the shot?
Well,
That's crazy.
It was drawn up for Cade. It's just Burks got it, and Burks took the shot. And I can't all the way knock Burks because, I mean, he's making a basketball play. At that point, They were guarding Cade well off the inbound. So he got it, and then rather than try to waste more time on the clock getting it to Cade, he just decided to shoot up. And look, Burks was playing pretty good that night.
Yeah.
So, I know everybody's frustrated with Burks. It is frustrating. Cade obviously deserves that shot, but, man, it's so terrible. Every time somebody else touched the ball other than Cade Cunningham, that whole second half, I just felt like nothing good was going to come of it.
Did you watch it, Spinny?
Nope.
Well, the second half was like shades of
it was awesome.
Miami Brown. Cade was going fucking stupid.
No, he went.
It like the block. I was like,
yeah.
I didn't know he had that. I was familiar with that part of the game.
And
sir.
that was when he was playing
that.
every minute of that game and controlling the whole game. He was gassed at that point, and he still had enough desire to win that game to have a chase down block late in the game. He played phenomenal, and I know we had those conversations earlier in the year about Cade struggling and do we need to reevaluate Cade Cunningham? No, don't reevaluate Cade Cunningham at all. Cade Cunningham is him. He's
Like,
just
give me
dealing with
more of that,
dog
though.
shit.
I'm not watching
Like-
this shit until people get fired.
Like in that game against the Grizzlies, like give me more of that.
Yeah.
Like the situation where Desmond Bane's doing that to us, like, Kate, respond back. Like, and I get, like, you
I
still
agree.
may lose, but, like, set the tone for the rest of the guys around you, because they see you playing like that, they gotta have to fucking step up.
Yeah.
And I a sick fuck too, Chris, and I guess you guys in the chat as well. A little different out there with Duren. Am I wrong? Like it's
Don't know. Didn't watch.
a lot more competitive with Duren out there than
Duren's it.
beforehand, and he's only been present for what? 14 of the 27 losses?
Yeah.
We forgot to mention that way, by the way. Record losing streak for the Detroit Pistons in the NBA.
Yep.
27 straight in a row.
Yeah, they're embarrassing. So I'm not going to watch until people get fired. And,
Embarrassing.
people need to get fired. Clear the front office. Get rid of all of them. Send them home. Kick them off to Applebee's. They should not be employed in the NBA any longer.
Go work at Pepsi.
Go work at Pepsi.
Fucking losers.
Shout out Prince. I just think that they need to make changes. You need to clear the front office. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassment to the team, to the franchise, to the players, and to the fans. And the more you just keep pumping out this garbage, the worse it's going to get.
I could take this one place where I could just speak on the change, because there's been hints to that per Shams, which we'll play that video shortly. But I think they're just gonna be fucked for a minute, man. Until I don't know like what we're allowed to say, but like until Tom Gores holds himself accountable for like what he's ushering out there, allowing that tell him like to be involved with this, because like the same group of men who prevented Troy from spending the money in the offseason, on top of Gores preventing him from grabbing the coach that he wanted, was the same guy who fucking signed Andre Drummond to a max contract in 2015. The same guy that wanted to sign, remember John Lure? Mm-hmm. I guess allegedly like there was a back and forth between he and SVG before he got that big deal. The same guy, that's the same guy who spent the money on those gentlemen, wasn't allowing Troy to spend money in this past offseason. It's a mess. And then, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris or Prince, if you guys like, let me know. Someone told me that Tellum's like a part owner at this point. He's part ownership of the Detroit Pistons. Is that true?
That I don't know, but it would make sense given the amount of power that he has, given the amount of clear influence that he has. At the very least, if he's not an owner in the team, he's like what Isaiah Thomas is to Matt Ishbia, right? Like just somebody that Tom Gores just completely, inexplicably trusts. And look, I was one when I first remember the announcement of the Arn Tellum hire. That
was a good thing.
Yeah, I thought it was, this guy's a powerful agent. He's obviously got awesome
He's gonna get
contact.
names here.
He's going to get names here. But instead, what do we get? We get his washed former clients like Wiseman. Come on, man. Wiseman is so bad. Like, I don't think you guys understand how bad Wiseman is. Like, the game immediately went to shit when
No, we
Wiseman
understand.
came in. Like,
We
it was
understand.
insane.
It's terrible. And Tom Gores should be ashamed of himself. He should be ashamed of himself by letting this happen, letting this continue, being the owner and not holding any accountability, and going out and telling people, oh, if you put the wins to the side,
Yeah,
we've
dude,
really
that
done
is
a lot
wild.
for the...
I'm a fan of the team, not the charity. All due respect.
I respect you giving back to the community.
Absolutely.
I respect you giving back to the city of Detroit. When the Detroit Pistons are losing their 27th game in a row, I don't want to fucking hear about your charity work.
Yeah.
I want to hear about what you're doing to make this basketball team not the biggest joke in the history of professional sports. Because it is right now.
I mean, I could be proud of your charity work. I am proud of the charity work you put in, but like, you could put in that charity work without being the owner of the Detroit Pistons. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could still, partake in business in the city without owning the Detroit Pistons and bringing down that franchise as you are right now, as we've been witnessing the past. When he take over like complete ownership, like 15, 16, I mean, that's where I'm at with it. And the other thing too, it's just a mess, bro.
Hey, Tommy, you
Tommy.
understand your team is about to go 2 months without winning a basketball game. 2 calendar months without winning a basketball game. You know how embarrassing, first of all, you know how hard that is to do? And second of all, do you know how embarrassing that is? Do something. Fire people, man. What the fuck are you doing?
And then like, and I know I'm the guy that does this in the show consistently, but caping for Troy a bit here too is like, I think Gores, only speaking to select media, at midnight of a Friday heading into Christmas weekend, was an admission of guilt in itself.
Yes.
You tried to push that back and hide that, convey that shit show of a mess. And by the way, too, we watched the introductory conference for Monty. One of the terms he used, the thread of the needle, and Monty is Monty. It was the same shit. And that selective media, it's a mess, bro. But I think that was an admission of guilt in itself.
Tommy,
Things aren't going to get better.
sack up. Take fucking control. Be the man. Be the owner. Do something. You are the owner of the worst team in the history of the National Basketball Association. If that doesn't like make you upset or anything, you're a joke and you should sell the team. Because what are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You got fans still going to the game and they're going there to publicly embarrass you.
Literally.
Chanting sell the team. You got ESPN reporting it. You got New York Times reporting it. Have some shame. Have some pride. Be a man. Do something. Make a change. If not, get the fuck out of here.
Mikey, you got anything on that?
No, he should definitely sell the team. But I was just wanting to ask you, me and Spencer were talking about it a little bit on Big D earlier. If the Pistons were to make a move, and obviously they're going to address this roster a little bit, hopefully, so it's not this bad throughout the rest of the season, I'm asking you and Chris, who do you want them to go out and get?
Anybody.
It's a tough question.
Malcolm Brogdon would be cool.
Because, like, there's really, I don't know, there's really not.
It's like who's available.
They said
Yeah,
they said they were going after fours. When we got a segment where we're going to talk about
I
that.
didn't even see that.
You're fine.
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
It's- Shams reported a couple guys that they're going to go after, and we are going to talk about that. But first, let me tell you about Big Boy. Wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. Try the veal parmesan or the new Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. How about breakfast? The stuffed potato pancakes are back. The classic lumberjack or Santa Fe Garden, also the new apple pie hotcakes that are too good to miss. Top it all off with a gingerbread shake for dessert. Stop by our local Big Boy today.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Swiss Insurance is the best place to shop your home and auto insurance and get the best in the business. That's my guy, Mark. Contact him with Mark at SwissINS.com or give him a call at 248-800-4177.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review for Eazy, for Mike Gentry, the Prince, Chris Platte. I am Spencer Exter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. we just got done talking about the Pistons. We're trying to get Nolan Bianchi on as one of our guests. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties, but when he is on, we'll let you know. But let's keep talking about these Pistons. Prince is bowling in his booth over there. We do have some news that Shams Charania did report today that the Pistons were looking at some power forwards to try to make a trade for. And the names that they put out there, we do? Is
you do it? Yeah.
Yeah. Is he on first, though?
Oh, let's see. Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
So
we'll
let me
get
set
into
it
that
up.
later because the Pistons are trash. Let's talk about a good team. And now joining us, we have Nolan Bianchi to talk about your NFC North champion, Detroit Lions. I'm really excited for this. I appreciate you for joining us, joining the show, sharing your time with us. Sorry it was a little wonky at first, but I'm glad we got you on now.
Appreciate you, man.
And the first thing I want to know is just your initial reaction when the Lions beat the Vikings to win the NFC North. What was going through your mind?
Well, it was kind of just surreal. And where, you weren't really sure what was going on, given the way that they covered, deep ball receivers all season. They have that moment where John Kaminsky fails to fall in that fumble, and you're like, oh, is this really going to go in the opposite direction the way we think it's going to? And then Melifonwu was the hero, and he ends up making the play. And the whole thing is just very, surreal, having grown up here and, being kind of around for this whole ride. A ton of family who's seeing numbers, and definitely that was the first thing I thought of, was just all the people back home who were going to have a good Christmas because the Lions been ruined. That was new territory for sure. But yeah, I think still a little bit surreal up in through the season. A crazy, unbelievable season.
No, man, I appreciate you taking the time to join the show. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties, but I know you got to take part in the press conferences today. All three coordinators spoke with the media. What were some of your takeaways when it comes down to AG, speaking on Effonte Melifonwu and the possibilities of, I guess, switching things around with CJ GJ? Do you have any takeaways from that at all?
Well, like we did. Did you hear?
It's kind of cutting in and out a little bit.
Is it okay?
Do you want me to send you the phone number? You calling?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, I apologize about that, man. That's my bad.
No, you're all good. All good.
I'll get you that phone number to you. Let me do that. And Spinny, go ahead and BS a little bit here. I apologize.
Obviously, the Lions, this is a very, very exciting time for Lions and Lions fans everywhere because this is something they haven't done in 30-plus years. This is the first kind of thing to check off their list. So I'm excited to see what they do going forward, excited to see how they react in Dallas against a big win. And Nolan, we got you on the phone now, so I think things will go a little bit more smoothly. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties on our end, but that is one thing I want to ask is looking towards Dallas. This is...
Oh, fuck my question, huh?
I don't even remember your question. This is a fast-paced business, baby. Keep up.
To be fair, I don't really think we're going to know how that setup is easy up until we see it on the field. Aaron Glenn was kind of playing a little coy when asked about it last week. He gave a little bit more indication today, just kind of saying that they would find a way and they have different ways to get guys on the field, whether it be different packages or things like that. But the fact of the matter is, you got a guy in Effonte Melifonwu who is not just playing really, really sound football, but he's also causing a bunch of turnovers and all of that other stuff. So I'm not sure, if they have to make a decision with one of the safeties up top. I'm not sure that it's a foregone conclusion that Melifonwu is going to see that playing time. Maybe so it's definitely interesting, but I think it's going to be great to see what happens.
And looking forward to Dallas, how do you expect this team to react? Coming off of the most emotional win that this franchise has had in 30 years, looking at them winning the division, the highs and the highs come with the lows of the lows, and they got to get right back to the grindstone and go to a game on Saturday against the Dallas Cowboys. How do you expect this team to kind of put that huge win and that championship behind them and face Dallas to try to get that number 1 seed in the NFC?
Yeah, no doubt. It's kind of the ultimate letdown spot. I think that's what I'm kind of looking at it as going into next week. I was very curious to see just kind of what the mood and was around the facility. And I think, coming out of it the last few days, I think I'm a little bit more confident that they'll be able to pull off a victory in Dallas than I was going into the week. But just it kind of came to the conclusion, just talking to a lot of guys, that they've really turned the page on this pretty quickly. And as big of a deal as it is for people around here, there's people in that locker room who have won division titles before. Aiden Hutchinson said it today, it feels like 30 years for some people, but for me it's only been 2. And I'm not going to want to sit here at the end of the season going, man, we won that division title and nothing else. So I'm really intrigued to see it, but I think based on what I've seen so far, based how I think Dan Campbell's teams have responded in maybe a letdown spot or something of the sort before, I think they're going to be ready to go. I think it'll be a close game. I think they'll cover. I didn't, maybe think that going into the week, but 6 points is a lot of points. And, yeah, I think they'll be able to close it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they won it.
Yeah, it was kind of a close game last year, and I know you can't necessarily take those type of things away, but I definitely expect it to be somewhat competitive. I mean, look at the game last year. It was pretty much a one-score game up until the last 10 minutes. Jamal Williams fumbled in the red zone. But you got to remember, we played without Amon-Ra St. Brown. We played without DJ Chark. We played without DeAndre Swift. And no J-Mo at that point either because of the ACL situation. I think this offense is going to be – it's definitely a different look for this Dallas team. It's not really beat too many teams above 500.
Yeah, and the Dallas run defense isn't very good either. I mean, we saw that a couple weeks ago what James Cook did to that defense. And so I think you're probably going into this week hoping that Jameer and David Montgomery can do something a little bit similar, and maybe you won't have to put the ball in harm's way by having Jared drop back 30, 40 times, or just put it in the air for DeRon Bland or whoever else is going to be out there in that secondary to pick it up, because they've been so good with interceptions. That pass rush has been amazing, but if the Lions can control the game on the ground, I think that's probably how this game is won.
I do want to look at the other side of the ball a little bit too, and the Lions trying to get a pass rush going against Dak Prescott, because Dak has looked unstoppable at home for the majority of the season, and if you don't get to him, he is going to sit back there. He's going to pick you apart with guys like CeeDee Lamb, Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, different skill players that the Cowboys have to offer. And Aaron Glenn seemed to get somewhat of a pass rush recently with Ife Melifonwu being 3 sacks in 2 games and stuff like that. But how important is it for the Lions' defensive line to win some one-on-ones against the Cowboys' offensive line?
That's going to be huge. And, just to kind of go back to the point that we were making about the DBs earlier, I think that, something that kind of hampered the pass rush earlier in the season, and it probably went both ways at times, was the inability to cover guys down the field. And the ability for, I think back to that Seattle game, and Geno Smith was able to just get the ball out whenever he wanted to. And so I definitely think it'll be important, probably more so this week, because we are playing Dallas at home where they've been so good. I think they've averaged 3rd most home points in the Super Bowl era at home this season. So it's definitely going to be everything. So that run game isn't as good as it has been in years past. And I don't know. I think if that's probably the primary concern is Dak Prescott and that mobility and just how the Lions are going to be able to get off the field. I think we've seen it time and time again when they play a mobile quarterback, they're unable to get off the field, and it turns drives into long drives, and then turns those into touchdown drives. And they just really can't afford to do that on Saturday night. So, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, but it is going to be super, super important, and they can get a lot of help from those DBs as well if they're able to not only cover, but if they get CJ back and they're able to do some disguise looks and things like that, just kind of make sure that Dak isn't able to operate under the same timing that he's used to. I think that's really the only way you're going to be able to take him off the game.
Nolan, is there any update on Taylor Decker? I know he wasn't there at practice today, as well as Kirby dealing with a little bit of a groin issue. Do you know what the situation is with those guys and how severe those situations are?
No, we'll probably get more clarity on those tomorrow. Those are guys who kind of popped up on the injury report late. At least I think. I don't know. I can't remember if Decker was in there yesterday. But Kirby, I don't know. He kind of got up weird after that one hit that he hit Jefferson on, and he kind of went to the turf, and he came out for a play, and they said he was in concussion protocol, but possibly wondering if maybe there was something lingering over from that. But definitely are going to want to miss him because he's balls in the air. He's one of the best guys we got. So, fortunately, no update for you probably till tomorrow, but yeah.
And then I know AG didn't allude to tilt his hand in what he wanted to do with reshuffling the secondary here, but I guess through your eyes, what would you do, or what do you expect to happen between everybody there with the emergence of CJ GJ coming back?
I gotta be honest with you, I don't really know. I think that they've kind of gotten really comfortable with Branch playing at that nickel corner position, and they've kind of leaned on him to play that role more consistently. Got the two safeties up top, like I said, with the way Malafanu is playing right now and just his reliability. I don't think he's going to be the guy to come out of the line. I think you have to make a decision with one of those two guys. So if I had to guess, I would probably say that maybe it might end up in a little bit less time for Kirby, but Kirby's ball production at times this year and last year, obviously he had 2 picks the other day. It just makes it a really tough decision, and I don't envy Aaron Glenn for having to make it, but I definitely know this is a good problem to have, and it's better to be like that than not having enough guys to play or to pass around the time. So it's up in the air because he won't say anything, and because he is the fact that they have. He talks about this idea of positionless football and just putting guys everywhere where they can make an impact. I think we're going to see some really interesting stuff. I just don't know what I mean by that.
That's fair. And, now that we've seen the timetable put out there, or at least the return of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, CD Deuce to Lions practice, have you heard any rumblings or has there been any sayings of an Ali McNeil or James Houston and when we might see them back at camp at practice, or a timetable of their window being open to return?
Yeah, so Lee McNeil, I believe, is going to come off IR the second he's eligible, which would make him ready to return for the Week 18 game against the Vikings. Who knows if that game's going to mean anything right now? I think there's a chance that based on how things shake out this weekend, that they might be locked into that 3 seed going into the final weekend. But the Ali McNeil injury was a bit of an interesting one. He got kind of rolled up on. I think it was the New Orleans game, and he came out and. I remember talking to him after, like, hey, you good? What happened there? He's like, I just got rolled up on. I'll be fine. Nothing major. And then, come to find out that he goes on IR the next day. But I think Campbell said that they are expecting him to do something where he's able to return immediately. Houston, I'm a little less certain on, just because of the fact that we've heard so many conflicting things. I think there was a report that came out Tuesday morning where Campbell was talking on 97.1 and saying like he could return to practice, and then he walked it back yesterday, and James Houston in practice today. So that one is a little bit more muddied, I would say. We talked to him a couple weeks ago, and he said the plan was to come back, get a few games in before the playoffs, but obviously that is looking rough as possible by the day. So it really is an interesting situation with him. I've been asking him about him for a couple weeks now, and they still don't have back-to-back. So I think that's like kind of the guy you're circling that is like this is the guy who can really possibly be an X factor along with maybe CD. But that's kind of where things stand with those two guys.
And then Nolan, 2 quick ones before I let you go. What's the correct pronunciation of your last name? Just so I want to get that right next time we have you on the show.
So it's technically Bianchi, but I grew up saying it Bianchi, and I go back and forth. It's just kind of how Italian I'm feeling that day. But I should probably just keep it with Bianchi, even though people like Italians get mad at me for saying that. But my family with the Bianchi name was raised in Minnesota, and so they said Bianchi. So
Bianchi?
we'll go with Bianchi. Yeah, Bianchi.
All right, and the last one is
So, yeah.
a question I've been asking all first-time guests. Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Hell
Yes, I
yeah.
do.
There you go, man. What articles you got going on today, and where people can follow you and check out your work that you do every day?
Yeah, check me out at thedetroitnews.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Nolan Bianchi. Today I posted a story about Dave Sip, and I was Christmas was ruined by the blocked PAT in the Vikings game. What else did I write today? Aaron Rodgers saying he's not happy the Lions won the NFC North. Yeah, lots of good stuff. We're publishing. I'm got about 2-3 stories going up over there. So follow me on Twitter, or follow us on the website, and everybody is on that anyway.
Nolan's very much a rising star in Detroit Lions coverage. Make sure you guys give him a follow. I appreciate your live tweets while the conference is going on. Those are especially for like the coordinator ones, because they don't release those till later. So those are like super helpful. But I appreciate taking time to go on the show and talking through the technical difficulties, man. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No worries at all, guys. Thanks for having me on, and anytime you guys ask, I'll be in.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you,
man.
brother. Enjoy your holidays.
Yep, you too.
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Feldman Chevrolet is the #1 Chevy dealer in all of Michigan. With over 18 locations and one right in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the closest location near you. And make sure to check out Feldman Chevrolet and Novi every other Monday to visit Jeff Iafredi and Sam. I almost said Sam Iafredi. Sam Reynolds.
They are married.
They are married. They fight like a married couple for sure. And BDE live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi.
Moves. They're going to evaluate everything from the front office to the roster. I think at this point, everyone but Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren have to be up for grabs. When you think about guys like Bojan Bogdanovic, Monte Morris, they have value around the league. What could the Pistons get for them in a trade? The Pistons do want a 4-man in free agency. They're going to be active. They have $50 to $60 million in cap space next summer. I'm told some names to keep an eye on: Pascal Siakam, Ojan Anunoby, Tobias Harris, as well as Miles Bridges. And so this is 27 games and counting. They can try to go make a trade right now, but at this point, nothing is changing their season in the trajectory that they're on.
4-man. They need a 3-man, a 2-man, a 5-man. They need
all the men.
The fact that they have a priority in free agency is shocking because they need everything, bro. This is ridiculous.
Chandler Parsons.
Yeah, all due respect, Chandler Parsons. Fuck you, bud.
Weak ass knees.
Yeah, bro. The fuck, you had the most fraudulent contract in NBA history.
Yeah.
Unnecessary shots. Apologize, but fuck, man, damn.
Charlie Villanueva lived up to his contract better.
It's facts.
I swear, bro.
It's facts. At least he tried to fight KG.
That's what I'm saying.
Parsons did?
No.
Oh, Villanueva. Oh, yeah.
Charlie V.
Yeah.
Parsons was getting torn up on Twitter yesterday for saying something about Ja's dance after or during like warm-ups or something like that.
What'd he say?
I don't know, because
He's like, with all due respect, when is it going to take, or how many times does it have to happen until you learn something? Because like Ja did a dance where you're like, well,
Yeah, how do you guys feel about that though? That was kind of like.
I don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah, I don't either.
I guess I don't give a shit, but it is like, I mean, given the history.
Either way,
I mean, I'm not going to argue whether it's poor taste or not, but at the end of the day, I don't care. Is he getting buckets and balling? And John Morant absolutely is right now.
But
yeah, I think it's like either poor taste more so. I just like lack of awareness, I guess. Like, did you not like? You continue making the same mistakes, you know?
Enough of John Morant. Enough of Chandler Parsons. Let's talk about.
We should trade for John Morant.
Let's talk about what Sham said.
Yeah.
About the Detroit Pistons trying to go after a 4-man. Looking at guys like, and they said this was free agency, not trade, right?
Yeah, they said both. He said free agency because those are all people that are on 1-year deals and are expected to be free agents, so you assume that's for the offseason. But then he mentioned you could also go and trade. But then he mentioned, which is my point, this season's lost anyways.
Yeah, the season's over. You don't come back from 27 straight losses.
So don't give up assets.
And
no,
if I'm looking at any of those guys, I would want OG Anunoby. He would be the one that would swing it the most for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really want Pascal Siakam because he can't shoot.
Yeah.
Miles Bridges, yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be a good piece.
Yeah, you know what pisses me off
but
about that?
He beats women.
Yeah. I mean, that obviously is a bad thing, too. Does that matter to you guys? If you guys care about Ja doing this shit, how about, Miles Bridges doing this shit?
I think that's a lot worse.
Yeah. What Pete say?
Smack. Pete, yeah, Pete would love him. But I think, obviously, Miles Bridges has a checkered past, to put it lightly. And I think that's a lot worse than what Ja has done.
Yeah.
And so, OG Anunoby would be the one I would want.
Yeah, I think the key phrase that a lot of people missed in that video coming out is, I think people like heard that and they thought trade targets. In terms of, like Chris said, giving up assets for it. No, they were talking about free agency. Like this thing ain't like they said in the video, you can't save 27 losses in a row. Yeah. It's not gonna happen in one season. Those are free agent targets, not trade assets. But I mean, would you be mad if they did make a move for someone of that ilk or anyone?
No, if they can do anything. They can trade anybody. They can fire anybody, and I would be okay with it.
It's Chris.
I want to say yes because where my mind goes, and obviously these are different teams, different timelines, but what the Knicks did with Melo, when they could have just waited that next summer, signed him, and then traded those assets and built a better team around Melo and Amari, and they went all in when he was always going to go to New York anyways because he wanted the extra money. That was the thing, is if he got traded earlier, then his extension was bigger and he could get a bigger contract. But I don't think the Pistons should do that. And I think OG is a piece that Toronto's probably willing to trade. But then again, they let Fred VanVleet walk for nothing. Like, maybe they're just going to let these guys walk for nothing because that seems to be what Masai Ujiri is doing in Toronto. So I'm not giving up assets at this point unless I'm getting players that are under contract for multiple seasons, because you need players that you need to start thinking about 2-3 years from now. Like, I know Spencer's going to say improve right now because the team sucks, and I'm with that. But I'm also saying if you're giving up assets, you got to be confident that the player you're getting is going to be contributing to this team for the next 3 to 4 years.
Well, what have the assets done? The assets we've had and used, the draft picks we've had and used, have contributed to this team losing 27 games in a row.
You talking about for Troy?
I'm talking about for the Pistons. Like, you're scared to give up assets for a proven NBA veteran. when holding on to those assets and cashing in those assets for draft picks has gotten us to 27 straight losses.
I'm not
so
scared
do
of
something. Do something. Get somebody in here. Get people the fuck out of here because you're the worst team in the NBA. So it's obviously not working. Drafting people and bringing them in is obviously not working because you're getting worse year by year. You are getting worse. When you have a full season of Cade Cunningham, your team sucks. Drafting more young people and bringing them into this is not going to do anything but make it worse. So fucking do something.
I get that.
I don't give a shit about assets if you can't cash them in for anything that results in a win. The assets mean nothing unless they yield a return. And no asset they've used so far has yielded a return.
I'm with that, and I'm only talking in the context of like the Carmelo, the OG Anunoby type where you trade and then re-sign them. Those are the type of players I'm not trading for 1 year for 1 year rentals or for somebody that I gotta pay a big bag to. I'm trading assets for a player that's under contract for multiple years. I look at that contract, I think that's a nice contract, that's a valuable contract. That's the type of player that I'm looking to target with trade assets. But as far as those names that you mentioned, like, yeah, I'm not crazy about Tobias. I like Tobias when he was here in Detroit. But if he's been overpaid for like 6 years. So if he's on a discount, that's not a bad player. Like the Pistons need, and they said it, they need several things, not just a 4-man. I think a 4-man would be excellent because I think that, that helps with the Cade, Asar, and Duren combination, which I do believe that can work. And everything outside of that should be open to exploration. But yeah, they need multiple pieces across the board.
For me, you're living in a fantasy world right now because no NBA veteran is going to take less money or a team-friendly deal to come to the Detroit Pistons. It's not going to fucking happen. Not a team that lost 27 games in a row this year. No NBA veteran will do that. Will be like, oh, I'll take, I could take the same amount of money to go to the Pistons or go to the Heat. Which one am I going to do? They're going to the fucking Heat. So if you want a guy that is good at basketball and that has played basketball before, you got to trade for him. Because you're not signing anybody on a team-friendly deal in free agency. To get a free agent to come to the Pistons, you got to pay well above market value.
Mike, I'm kind of curious, your opinion on all this, because you've been kind of critical of the Pistons organization for a while. Yeah. You've had a critical eye on it.
I was on the Troy Weaver out train before that was hype. So
what are the changes you want to see? Where are you
at this point? I'm kind of toe and toe with Spencer. Besides Jalen Duren and Cade Cunningham, I would trade everyone. Anyone's up for grabs.
Yeah.
There's no one. I wanted to give Ivy some slack this year, and then he just hasn't racked up that consistency, and obviously some of it has to do with him, the rotations and him not playing consistently. But I just don't think he was the right fit. I've said that since draft day, that.
Yeah.
But I just don't really. They need shooters and they need 3-and-D guys. So you have to go and get. I like that they're going to pursue a 4, but guys like Pascal Siakam, he's 30 years old. So how?
And he can't shoot.
Yeah, I don't want Siakam.
I don't know. I like Miles Bridges. I don't like all the stuff that he's done, but I like him as a basketball player.
Should have never let him copy off me.
Yeah, Spencer, you started this all.
It's true.
But yeah, you got to blow it up, man. You got to get some players around Cade. It's disheartening to see him at the end of games like that, like last night where he's putting up 40. He's put up 40 twice in the last 4 games. Just seeing him, it's disheartening to see a future franchise player go through this.
Yeah, and that's why I think moves need to be addressed both this season and in the off season. I was just talking about when it comes to trading assets, get players for multiple years so you can pitch okay, look, here's a guy who's going to be with us for 2, 3, 4 years. Here's the guys we're going to go after in free agency because, like Spencer said, I'm not saying Tobias Harris will come on a discount or anything like that. I'm saying if he's a cheap contract, you get him. But you have to sell this team to other players. Yeah. I've been pitching the Devin Booker hype train, and look, Phoenix is a dumpster fire. But if he requests a trade today, as much as he loves Detroit, I don't know if he wants to come to this situation right now. Probably not, especially when OKC can call on the phone and say, hey, we have SGA in every pick you ever want.
There isn't a salesman on the face of the fucking earth that can convince anybody that the Detroit Pistons are a better scenario than any other team in the NBA.
Yeah.
Literally none.
Not even
the
Brady.
Spurs, the Wizards, all of them are better options than the Pistons right now. There's not maybe the Wizards. Yeah. Maybe the Wizards are the only ones that you'd be able to convince somebody is a better situation than the Pistons. But other than that, there's nobody. But we do got to go to break. Easy, tell us about Fairway.
I'll tell you about Fairway. For over 60 years, they provide Michigan's finest hotels, restaurants, and casinos with the best prime Wagyu beef, dry aged beef, and more. Check out Fairway Packing Company at fairwaypacking.com or visit them at 313-332-5114. It's fairwaypackingcompany.com.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. How would you like to win not one, but two vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Jacques Labrador. Make sure you guys pick it up. It is the best new game for all occasions. All ages can play. It is a twist on rock, paper, scissors that'll have you having the time of your life. 3 games in one deck, only $20. Make sure you guys check it out. Scan the QR code above or go to jacklabrador.com to get your deck today. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights, live on woodwardsports.com. He is Eazy. That is Gentry. That is Chris. I am Spencer. We are
what up, Chris? The
Woodward Heavyweights.
Can I just say this one comment real quick? I think
I'm down to keep talking.
Okay.
No, one comment and then you're in the corner.
I knew Spencer was gonna say some shit like that. When it comes to this state that the Pistons are in, I see people saying thanks Blake Griffin. No.
Yes, fuck Blake Griffin. It's all his fault.
No, at this point, if you've had 3 to 4 years, and I've been on the team, this had nothing to start with, but 3 to 4 years, you should have been able to build up a better foundation than the most historic worst franchise.
But Chris thought it wasn't time to blame Troy Weaver.
It's blame for everybody. It's blame for multiple people. It's blame for multiple people, and not switching nothing up.
I will say this. Last night, seeing Andre Drummond drop 20 and 20, 24 and 20.
Yeah.
After knowing he wanted to come here and having to deal with the fucking James Wiseman come off the bench for us, that was the trades where I'm like, all right, Troy Weaver, fuck you.
Drummond, we win that game last night. That's what's crazy, and I hate saying that.
Yeah, if we had Drummond, we would have won that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We have 0 fucking backup
We'd
bigs.
have 3 wins on the season. We'd be all right,
bro. I mean, listen.
If we had a warm body that could catch a ball. Other than James Wiseman, we would have won that game last night. James Wiseman is absolute dog shit. Like, it's over for Buddy. Get ready to flip burgers. Like, he is not good at the game of basketball.
Right.
You can sell me on the, but he's still so young. He has so much potential. Yeah, and he potentially sucks at the game of basketball. And you traded Sadiq Bey for him. If you had Sadiq Bey last night, you win that game. If you have Nerlens Noel instead of James Wiseman, you win that game. If you have Mason Plumlee instead of James Wiseman, you win that game. If you have any center that gets more than 5 minutes a game in the NBA right now on this roster, not named James Wiseman, you win that game last night.
I saw a couple people comment too about Cam Johnson last night. That situation, Detroit Pistons, he was going to resign with the Nets regardless. They could have matched any offer we sent. That's why we ended up conceding and making the trade for another guy we don't use at all. But
Joe Harris.
I get to hear these guys talk all the time.
Gentry's boy.
I'm more curious, like
why?
Well, because I get to hear these guys talk all the time. Like, I don't really get to talk to you all the time about this. Like, what is your solution to this? I know you said like fire people, but like, is there any bodies out there that you want the Pistons to acquire? Anyone you want to trade for? Or are you just like out as a Pistons fan? Like
I said, like this year they're in like such a tough spot, and I don't think anything really turns the team around as of now. But like I mentioned a name to Spencer earlier, and my buddy has brought this to me, kind of his idea. Why don't you go get a guy like Lauri Markkanen? Like he is literally getting paid big ass shotgun, but he's getting paid literally $2 more million than Isaiah Stewart. Just a flashback on how 6 months ago or whenever it was, everyone was hype over that Isaiah Stewart contract, and Eazy, the one person that wasn't was me, because that guy literally does nothing, just runs cardio all game. But
you don't like Isaiah Stewart.
No, he's not. Dude, that guy is not a starter on any team in the fucking NBA.
I agree.
I've been saying that for God knows how long.
I agree.
And then Bogey was just getting walked all game last game. That man was put on skates.
Dude.
I literally said last year, it's on the Jeff and Gentry YouTube or whatever. Eazy, you were sitting in there. When Bogey was going nuts, I said you should have traded him that minute. Right before the deadline where he stacked up those games, you should have gotten rid of him and you should have sold him high. And you could have used the assets off of that trade to build your team. But now you got another 35-year-old who's barely played half of the season. And now what are you going to do? Keep him, and all his value is deraised because he's not putting up the same points that he was putting up last year.
He's getting older.
He still has value. He still has good value.
But not what it was.
Maybe less. I would say it's around the same. Like what I've heard from people that follow the rumors and all that, the reporters and everything, is that the Pistons just don't want to trade him because he is one of their best players. And when you watch that,
fucking awful, dude.
And when you watch the game, like it's hard to argue that point.
They lost 27 games. Yeah. Who the fuck cares who your best players are? Get this bum out of here.
You got to drop a nuke.
He can do something. He can get you something. Cut him loose. Trade for Lauri Markkanen. Bring in that big ass shotgun. Call it Lauri Markkanen. Trade Stewart, Ivy, and somebody for fucking Lauri. I don't care. Do something.
Yeah.
You are the worst team in the history of the NBA. Stop being like, oh, we give them a little bit longer to figure it out. No, they'll figure out that they're more ass. Cade Cunningham will figure out that he hates this city more than he already does. He'll figure out that he hates this organization more than he already does because you are failing him. He is playing at an all-star level, and you are failing him. So fucking do something.
Mike, where you at with Monty? Because I feel like Monty's cooking with a lot. I think this team's more talented than Casey had last year. And obviously Monty's cashing in fucking shit for results. Where were you at with him as the coach?
I think it's a little like he is to blame as far as like some of these rotations go and like how long these bench players stay out there in critical situations. And like sometimes you see a player like Azor Thompson earlier in the year like wasn't playing for like random stretches like the fourth quarter when he's playing well, and then like Jaden Ivey. I think there's some question marks around that as far as rotations go, but he's not all to blame. This roster is sorry as hell, like as a whole. They literally have probably 2 or 3 players that I think you could build around and keep for the future. Other than that, this whole team's a wash, and like this is by far the worst bench in the entire league. So when you do take your starters off, he's absolutely cooked, and you do want to blame him for doing some of these out-of-the-box moves, but at some point you have to try something. So like I do think he's a good coach. I don't think it's all on him, and I think him and Troy Weaver just don't have the same mindset when it comes to a lot of things and aren't on the same page. So I'm not hanging up the phone on Monty yet, but some of the moves he's done thus far are a little bit have some question marks.
Right now I am looking at Tom Gores, anybody with the last name Tellum, and Troy Weaver, and saying you have failed Cade Cunningham. This is a guy who sat down on draft day, big ass smile on his face, coming to the worst team in the NBA still, threw the buffs on and said, Detroit, let's go. This is a man who was excited to play here. This is a man who has done nothing but fight for this city, for this team, and you guys are letting him down by not doing anything, by not adding pieces that can help him, by letting him go out there and score 40 points in 2 games in 2 weeks and lose both of them, by having these traffic cones all around the court that do nothing but have their defenders get more attached to him. The worst day for the Detroit Pistons is not going to be the 27th straight loss that they just suffered. It's going to be the day that Cade Cunningham signs a Supermax, walks into Detroit's office, and requests a trade. And it's going to happen unless you fucking change something now. It's not getting any better. Nobody's coming to save you on this roster. Change things. Fire people. Make trades. Or just shut everything down. Because it's embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Spain, tell us about Hamlin Pub.
Hamlin Pub, not embarrassing. Have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. Experience your new favorite pub for all things sports. They got half-off pizza on Thursdays. Every NFL game, all Michigan sports games, they got food and drink specials. So make sure you check out Hamlin Pub. That smokehouse brisket mac and cheese is fire. It'll help you get through one of these Pistons games. I'm telling you that. Hamlin Pub. Go check it out. Your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
BullseyeEventGroup.com is where you guys need to go to purchase your tickets for all you can eat, all you can drink, and a free shuttle to the game then afterward. BullseyeEventGroup.com, sponsored by Long Drink. I was there 2 weeks ago. It was a great time. I'm going to be there again for the Minnesota Vikings game. That's BullseyeEventGroup.com. All you can eat, all you can drink, and a free shuttle to the game then afterward. BullseyeEventGroup.com.
What up, though, everybody? Sorry. Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platforms, leave a 5-star review. We are going to have Herman Moore on shortly. He will be joining us, but that is easy. We got Chris Platte. We got Mike Gentry. I am Spencer Agster. We are the Heavyweights. Let's talk about let's not talk about the Pistons anymore because it just makes me sad, and I don't want to be sad.
I'll say one more thing. And this is like one little, because I'm with you. Something has to like shake, or I'm out. And I'm also cool with being out. But I kind of want to keep Ivy in the clip for if a Devin Booker becomes available, because like we were talking about during the break, I don't want to trade Ivy for like assets. I'm done kicking the can down the road and want to collect these young guys and have to wait for those young guys to mature. While I have to fucking give Duran, Cade, Supermaxes. Like I'm done doing that. I want to acquire like an asset that's like ready to win now, ready to play like right now. And I don't know. Again, Devin Booker's a pipe dream. I get it, but he loves City Detroit. That's been like quite clear. He's actually as recently as like Christmas Day, bitching at his team about not running back and turning the ball over. Like it's been a shit show. But I will say that. Like I don't want to trade for draft picks. I don't want to like rush into anything. Like keep Ivy for a good move. That's all I'm saying. Chris, I'm told we have a guest.
We do.
Let's get him on. Joining us now, the one, the only,
Jean Macaroon.
Jean Macaroon. Doc, how you feeling? Appreciate you for joining us. And first things first,
I'm the real ass.
What was your initial reaction to the Lions winning the NFC North for the first time in team history?
Yeah, first and foremost, you hear me okay? All is good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's go. Everybody in the chat, buckle up. Man, it was exciting. Like everybody else, I was typing, reporting, and when John Kaminsky didn't fall on that football, I was like, what the fuck? Fall on the football. End the game. And then the next play, the pass to Justin Jefferson, my heart rate was up. I was trying to type, have a couple stories in mind, and luckily they held on. And it was just a feeling of excitement, but also a feeling of relief because of the fact that this was a game that could have been lost. But the Lions held on, they got the title, and boy, if they're going to go down like that and have that kind of victory, it was exhilarating. And I thought, for this Lions team, par for the course. And it was great to see the defense make a play late. I was impressed, and fuck the Vikings. I thought it was great to take the division on their stadium.
John, man, I appreciate the time joining us. We've had some conversations during the week about the whole CJ, DJ situation, him coming back with Ifantu Melifonwu emerging as a star, it seems, at the safety position. You're the one that kind of put it in my mind, hey, we might see rookie Brian Branch take the back seat and CJ, DJ return to that nickel spot. Has your opinion changed on that, or would you like to go in depth on that opinion a bit?
Yeah, I think everyone's talking about it, what to do when CJ Gardner-Johnson returns. And I figure that the coaching staff is going to trust veterans, and so maybe a natural spot could be to have him play at nickel. Look, I don't think there's one permanent solution. They could do all the things that we're going to talk about. I have a lot of ideas regarding what they can do. You can check it out at All Lions. I had a writer kind of look into it a little bit, look at film. We kind of explore what are the options the Lions could have at the safety position when CD returns. And I think first and foremost, Nolan brought it up, I thought very excellently. Yeah, Ifantu Melifonwu, who's making plays, is taking advantage of Aaron Glenn's blitz scheme. You definitely want to keep him out there. The man's making plays. He's impactful. I know, and many people are kind of whispering, maybe looking at limiting Kirby Joseph. But here's the thing. That guy also gets to the football too. He's impactful. Yes. So I think that it's tough. It's very tough. But at first, I think that early on, you're not going to want to disrupt the apple cart if things are going well. You're going to work back in CD Deuce. We looked at and say, okay, in obvious passing situations, there are dime packages that involve 6 defensive backs where you have them all out there. Branch, CD, the two defensive backs, the 2 cornerbacks, and obviously the 2 safeties. You have 6 defensive backs that can take advantage of everybody out there with just 1 linebacker. So there's opportunities that Aaron Glenn is going to have to mix in everybody. I asked today, I was trying to dig a little bit, and I said, look, if the competition's close, if it's between CD and Kirby, what could you look for? I was trying to get a little bit of something, and he gave a great answer, just saying, look, he talks to everybody and lets them know. But Brian Branch, I think, has been great at the nickel spot. It's a great problem to have. We're going to find out the answer soon. But I think that you could do a lot of different things, and that's a great advantage for Aaron Glenn, who's done a great job as of late.
Could you see it becoming somewhat of a problem if CD isn't rewarded a starting spot in the defense, being how vocal he is both in practice as a leader for the team and just kind of I don't want to call him a hothead, but he doesn't hold his opinion back very much.
Yeah, very blunt. Look, I think he's competitive, and he'll understand, he'll respect the coaches. Look, him and Aaron Glenn, if you see my video on my Twitter page at Detroit Podcast, I cut it off just a second too soon. He's going for a pass today at practice, and who's the first one to give him a high five? It's the defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn. I don't think that CD Deuce is going to be disrespectful to Aaron Glenn, who was a big factor in why he was brought here. Now, is he going to talk? Is he going to speak his mind? Yeah, but the Lions would like that, because obviously whenever a player doesn't play as much, they want competitiveness. They want those guys to fight for those opportunities. And you don't want a player that when they get less playing time to kind of just be okay with it. You want them in any kind of way to express and be about competition, and that's what this Lions group is about. That's why adding CD, you just can't take your eyes off of him at practice. He's always moving, he's always doing something energetic, and today he made a one-handed catch, and he's all talking about, yeah, I'm him, and he's got, I love that swagger. I'm the kind of guy that gravitates toward that kind of swagger, so I don't think it's a problem at all, especially if he goes out there and produces.
And kind of the one hole in this Lions secondary the past couple weeks has been that cornerback 2 spot. I mean, Kendall Vinder has looked pretty good, making some tackles and doing some things there, but I don't know if he's a long-term answer. Is there any chance that CD Deuce or Ifantu Melifonwu or someone of that nature could move, even Brian Branch, move over to the outside corner position and play there, keeping all of those playmakers on the field at the same time?
Absolutely. That's a great option. That's where it's tough, though, for Ifantu Melifonwu. We've had opportunity to talk to him multiple times this year. It's just really tough in regards to kind of getting comfortable at a position, shining, and then having to move again. But these players, they'll do it exactly what the coaching staff wants. But look, he's shining. So it would be very interesting to see CD Deuce on the other side of Cam Sutton. But I think his natural spot is at safety. Also shines in the nickel spot. Maybe you try Branch over there on the other side. But at the same time, you also don't want to expose. Obviously, teams, when they see those kind of things, especially in the postseason, you kind of want to have some experience. You don't want Branch out there first time out there being up against Dallas or the first time in the playoffs. So I think the first option potentially could be moving Ifantu Melifonwu again. It might not make him happy, but it's definitely an opportunity. It's an option.
And then when looking at that defense and looking at pieces that we're expecting to return, or a piece that we thought was going to be there, a guy in Bruce Irvin that they signed, has there been any update on what's going on with him, with the injury situation, or him returning to this team, hopefully for the Dallas game? Because when he was in there against the Saints, we saw him make some plays. I don't know if it's just he's stuck at early bird special somewhere, can't get to the game in time, or what's going on with Bruce, and are we going to see him against Dallas?
Yeah, now here's the delicate part about roster construction. He's on the practice squad. You're only allowed to elevate a guy from the practice squad so many times. After 3 times, then you got to make a decision and put him on the active roster, which then is going to force somebody off the roster. So they're being delicate. They're trying to reserve it. Maybe they will bring it up. This time it wasn't injury-based. Obviously, it was an obvious need. When you had the injury to Brock Wright, you needed that tight end. So I felt like, you guys, look, first and foremost, when you look at the numbers, the Lions got well over 10 quarterback hits and pressures and multiple sacks. They put the pressure to Nick Mullins. They forced him into mistakes. I trust the way in which the coaching staff decides. Look, guys, Bruce Irvin's 36. He adds a swagger. But if it's not him this week, also look to Tyson Alualu, who has not been brought up at all. You have an opportunity to bring him up twice without having to make a decision. Yeah, Bruce Irvin brings a lot of swagger and brings that production, but you're also trying to get the others involved as well, including Josh Paschal and the others involved like John Kaminsky. I know the pass rush is tough, but in this game against the Vikings, they held their own and did their job. Bruce Irvin's great, I think, in the locker room, but it's a weekly decision for him.
Yeah, I just look at it as like this game specifically against the Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott is going to be one of the better quarterbacks that we've seen all year. It's not Nick Mullins out there, and that the sack numbers look good against the Vikings, but it was, if he got a couple, Brian Branch got one. So I'd rather see more of the edge rushers getting it, and then the cornerbacks and the safeties can play in coverage. But that's what worries about it for me, because the weapons that Dallas has.
Yeah, no doubt. I think you guys obviously clearly are definitely concerned about playing Dallas in their home stadium. I think it's very tough. You look at Jerry World, you're going to be battling the elements. You're going to be battling probably the officials. It's going to take a lot. And, yeah, you guys see it too. Dak Prescott has been more efficient, specifically on third down, making plays, securing additional yardage and drives and first downs. He's playing very well. A lot of weapons for Dak Prescott. But similar to Nick Mullins, similar to Russell Wilson, and you guys are spot on. When you pressure the quarterback, you can force Dak Prescott into mistakes. You can make things so much better for your defense. And when you got an opportunistic defense, I asked Dan Campbell earlier this week, I said, hey, can securing that late interception build momentum for your defense? And he told me, look, yeah, I expect the turnovers to continue. I expect us to be opportunistic. That's the foundation of the defense to help this football team, is to get a couple extra possessions for that offense. If they can force some turnovers and starting with pressure, man, it's amazing. And so a lot of games now late are going to be predicated on how well the defensive line plays. Absolutely.
Yeah. John, I appreciate the time to join us. Let me squeeze one last one before we get Herman in here real quick, too. I want to ask, am I being a slap ass for, I guess, looking back at last year's game and seeing how close it was up until that fumble in the fourth, when they didn't have a DeAndre Swift, when they didn't have a DJ Chark, when they didn't have a Jamison Williams, they didn't have an Amon-Ra St. Brown, nearly all their weapons of the strength of this team on that offensive side, and they still kept it close. Am I being a slap ass for like holding on to that, for thinking like they can walk away with the victory here?
Not at all. 11-win football team. This Detroit Lions team can compete with anybody. If they play well, look at Jared Goff handling the blitz so much better against Minnesota, getting the football, spreading it around now. Jamison Williams is more involved. You don't have to apologize for supporting the Lions and thinking that they can play well. Now, can they go out there and lay a dud? Yeah, they can get overwhelmed. There could be a letdown. Dan Campbell definitely thinks that the biggest situation he's got to worry about this week for his team is complacency. But I think this football team's hungry. I think what's going to help your cause, Eazy, is the fact that they can still get the number 1 seed. They can still also fight for the number 2 seed if they win out, which means more potential home playoff games. They're hungry. They know what's going on. You guys saw the Build Your Legacy video. If that's what Dan Campbell said day one, what the hell is he telling them now? It's gonna make you and me want to run through a wall, fighting for that number 2 seed, potentially having multiple home playoff games at Ford Field. It excites me. So I don't think this football team's going to lay down. It's going to be a juggernaut contest. I can't wait to see it.
John, appreciate you so much for joining us,
brother.
as always. Great to have your knowledge on the show. Before we let you go, tell the people where they can get more of your articles, where they can hear more of your Lions coverage for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out All Lions. Look, I don't want to plug stuff. I just got to get this thought out of my mind. You guys were talking about the Pistons. I love listening in. I can't shake the thought. Do you think Tom Gores last night just sitting at his home snorting lines off some hooker, and he looks up and he's got to put down the phone and he's got to stop and he's got to be like, fuck, I got to call Monty Williams again and tell him not to play fucking Alec Burks? God damn it. What the hell is going on with these guys? Tom Gores is atrocious, and the fact that no changes have been made at this point really is the highlight of why there's dysfunction. In no way, shape, or form, if I saw what I'm seeing right now, would there still be no talk of, I still need to evaluate what's going on. Here's the evaluation. Your shit sucks. Fix the product. That's what we're looking for. Blow it all up, and if Tom Gores doesn't see that, he's lost the fan base. And if you want your constituents and your customers screaming and yelling, sell the team across the nation, then you keep doing what you're doing. I think changes need to happen, and I hope you guys keep screaming it. And, you know, you two and all the fans at LCA, keep doing what you're doing. Hopefully change happens, because Chris, myself, we love Pistons basketball. This shit's embarrassing.
Hell yeah, it is.
John, man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, John.
Thank you so much, man. Spinzy, tell us about Platte
He's right, man. He's right. It's Tom Gore. At least we got Sheila. Man.
I love him for that.
Tom Gore is terrible. Listen, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone, where you can work out in a non-intimidating, judgment-free atmosphere. The gym that has always been known for being clean is now cleaner than ever. You get all of this for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, 50 in Metro Detroit, and more than thousands throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
coming to Woodward Sports. Woodward and Main Street. The Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supplies, hands down, Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. They got the same prices, the same inventory as the big chains and the online stores. The only difference is they're here and they're family. They have over 60 different brands of food with nutritionists to help you figure it out. Premier Pet Supply. premierpetsupply.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights.
Very nice.
Very nice. Live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. For Eazy, for Chris, for Gentry, I am Spencer Axter, and now we are joined by the one and only legendary wide receiver for your Detroit Lions, Herman Moore. Herman, we appreciate you joining us as always. This one's special, man. This one's special. I just want you to break it down for us. What does this mean for the Detroit Lions, for the city of Detroit, to have their first NFC North title in the history of the franchise?
You know what? I say tell the man with the money come pay me.
Yeah.
because you know, I heard that saying. There was a saying that a person had that told me about that one, man. But I'm gonna tell you what. This is what you look for. This is why you play the game. And I'm telling you, no one's going to understand what it means when not only do you win a division, but you get to playoff, and you're doing this all in one game, and then you got home game. Now you're looking for a 1 seed or a 2 seed. You're looking for the opportunity to get a bye, because we got a bye. And I'm telling you, that path becomes so much, I won't say easy. It's not easy. It's easier. It's smoother. And you if you win that first home game, let's hypothetically fast forward, right? Lions get a bye, and they win out. They get a bye, and they have a home game. They win that home game, and then they have to play another game to get there. I mean, it is the best way you can go into those championship games. There's a lot on the line against the Dallas Cowboys. There's a lot on the line for the Lions coming into this next game. Complacency, will it be there? It's going to settle in on some players. Every player is not built the same. Every player is not going to respond the same. The starters are going to respond differently than the guys that are backups, right? The guy who is injured and trying to get back is responding a different way than the guy that's now taking over for that person that's trying to come in. The mindset's going to be different. It's going to come down to how you corral that. How do you bring it all together? And then take that and make the team stay focused. No turnovers, right? And if there are, you got to recover from those. Defense, if something does go awry, offense turns the ball over, you got to get in there and make it. You got to get in there and make things right? Offense, defense gives up a score, you got to go in and answer the bell. You have to get these units talking and supporting each other at a different level than what they did all year. So this is really good, man. This is a good position. The city's on fire. Thankfully, not literally, but right now, you know, this is really good, man. Everyone's excited. You know, you got the blue everywhere, and so this is a good time to be a Detroit Lion fan and also a player and also an owner.
What do you think, this team being so young? Is there any I guess reserve for a letdown game against the Dallas Cowboys? Because this is it's kind of whack the way they built this thing up. Back in school, you have your homecoming game, and you typically schedule a team you're supposed to smash. They've made Jimmy Johnson's Ring of Honor game with freaking Troy Aikman on the call, and then us coming to town. I think it's a little bit disrespectful, but big game for them, and then us coming off such a hype, having a young team. Is there any nervousness there for a little bit of a letdown or going there too cocky?
You know, if I thought the coaches and the coaching staff that he has around him to support were complacent, I would be a little concerned. If I thought they were full of themselves and that they made it about them and not about us for we, I'd be a little concerned. And I'm gonna tell you, as a former player, and I'm looking at what's there, what I glean and what I see is a team that is focused. There's a leadership piece that is built around a young group of players that are understanding not only how to win, but they were built to win. Meaning, they didn't go out and just say, we're going to go get, proven superstars and players that were, killing it on other teams, and we're going to come and build this all-star, all-great team. We're going to build it the right way. We're going to build it off of building people off a foundation. By building this team off a foundation, going in and finding those hidden gems that everyone else overlooked, the ones where people are scratching their heads and going, why did they make that pick or that pick? And proving this is why we made those picks, and showing that they put in the work. They have the foundation that allows them to go in, and they're not worried about Troy Aikman on the call. They're not worried about the person in Jimmy Johnson that they're going to be honoring. I mean, that goes with the territory. You're going to walk into situations that you can't control. This team, however, can control their preparation this week, their focus this week, their ability to go out there and understand, turnovers are going to kill you, penalties are going to set you back. And if you get behind on the road against a team like Dallas, who has a lot to play for too, then trying to recover and think they're going to just let down and let you come back is going to be a little bit of a taller ask. So I see this as being a very focused game. I don't think this is a letdown game. I don't think this is one where Dallas comes in and trips these guys up. I just don't see that happening. And when you look at how important this game is, why would it happen now if we haven't seen it so far this year?
That's for sure. And especially when you got some of these guys returning, that is one question I wanted to ask you. Having potentially a guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson return to this line, or C.D. Deuce now return to this lineup, a guy who has played in the Super Bowl just last season, a guy who has made deep runs in the playoffs, how much could that help the younger players on this team kind of, him tell them, like, all right, this is the playoffs now. Like, it's not cute anymore. This is going to be all you got every single snap. How much will that help the younger players in this locker room?
I think if you're looking for inspiration, it can give them something. But if you haven't experienced it, a person can talk to you all day. You can bring in all the veterans you want. You can bring in the guys that have gone to the Super Bowl. They can give you a path. They could tell you just kind of, here's a game plan. Here's how I would handle. Here's how I would prepare. And here's some of the things to expect. But it steps up. When the big game steps up, you're in a big game. I'm going to tell you, there's a difference in just a game that's you're just kind of getting through it, or it's just no fan involvement. The players aren't really into it and all that. It's not going to be that type of a game. This is going to be a high-energy stadium. You're playing in front of a big audience. You're playing on special occasions, and you're playing in hostile territory within your conference. Forget the division. That's locked, right? You're now playing in the conference. You're sizing up competition. So this is an opportunity that you're going to have to go through that experience. This is going to be, if anything, we should all look at it this way. This is a stepping stone. This is a way for this team to really go in and say, when we get ready to hit this big moment, how do we handle it? Are we prepared? And if we're not, this could be your warm-up. I think there's a win all the way around, no matter what happens to the Lions in this game, because it's preparing them for the postseason. And this is going to have the postseason feel, in my opinion, at the greatest level. You're on the road. You're going against a big conference rival. And it's going to have playoff environment. So it's going to let you see how do you perform on the road. Now, I would imagine that's what Coach Campbell's going to be telling his team. This is going to give you your good litmus test.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Like, and I don't know if that's unfair to me too as a Detroit Lions fan to kind of use this game as a measuring stick where the Detroit Lions are at, because I appreciate the division title, and I know there's 11 wins, but I look at the quality of the wins. And again, I didn't play in the NFL. I know it's a tough to win any game in the NFL, but I want to see the Detroit Lions beat a quality opponent like the Dallas Cowboys. Am I wrong for wanting that out of this game or using this game as that type of measuring stick?
Got to set the bar at a level that exceeds where they've been right now, because right now they're going to go into territory they haven't been. You can't do what you've done in the past. You can't do what you've done to get to this moment and all of a sudden think that's necessarily going to be good enough. The wins that they've had so far and the way in which they've won those games, and with the energy, the explosiveness, taking advantage of turnovers, creating turnovers, being explosive offensively, all these things are fine and dandy. But everything comes in levels. And now this is going to level up. This is going to level up for them on the road. they can't control what Dallas does. Dallas may come out and play the best game they played all year, which means that the Lions are going to have to play their best game. The Dallas Cowboys come out and not play as well. But that doesn't mean that's going to mean the Lions are prepared and they can play sloppy and think that that's going to be the best play. They're going to be gauged by how they perform as a team, how they perform in each and every instance and situation. It's going to be very granular. I can tell you that right now. Coaches are looking at everything. They're evaluating plays. They're evaluating motions. They're evaluating how defenses are going to play them because they know that they're being thrown real defensive challenges. And I'll tell you this real quick. So the one thing that I'm looking at offensively is that where I've seen this offense have some struggles and have some challenges, even though they have a great offensive line, is when there's been pressure. Jared Goff has seemingly handled the pressure a little bit better than he's done in the past. But now it's to find out, is that really settled in? Because teams are going to challenge them. If you look at the defensive teams they're going to face throughout the playoffs, potentially, they have the ability to put pressure defensively. They have very good secondaries. And I think they have offenses that can come back and not all of a sudden figure out, we got these different quarterbacks and we don't know how we're going to make things happen. So this is going to be a good challenge going down the stretch. And now you're going to see the cream of the crop of the NFL be able to come out and play one another and just really see where everything stacks up.
Yeah.
With watching this defense play lights out the way they've been the past two games, are we allowed to have belief in them turning things around? I mean, Ife Melifonwu, this has been a pleasant surprise at the safety position. He's brought a different element in the blitz because we haven't been able to generate pressure with just a four-man pass rush. It's nice to have Ife like a wild man out there. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. But it's been out of the blue, but does that give you reason to believe in this defense having a little bit of a turnaround late in the season?
There's a couple things you have to look at anytime you see what we've seen take place with the Lions. There's some adjustments. Aaron Glenn was being called out. He was being considered a guy defensively that is an Achilles heel or something that's not working for this defensive team. But one thing I've seen is that they're playing situations. Everyone watches game film, and I think that's what we miss a lot of times. We go, why doesn't this team do this? Why aren't the Lions doing more of that? There are things that you do and you see on film. They don't have the type of defense where they can impose their will. They don't have the type of defense where they can go in and say, if we blitz you, you can't stop us. And you just better hope you get the pass off and your quarterback's mobile enough, right? Or you make the right read. And if you don't, we're going to make you pay for it. That's not that secondary, and that's not what they have. But what they have is they're trying to, from a scheme standpoint, take advantage of what they see in formation. They're trying to keep you off balance by dialing up now the unpredictable plays and the calls. They're blitzing people that you don't think they're going to come from different things that we haven't really seen all year, which they have no film on it. Your opponent has no film, so there's nothing for them to defend, and now they're trying to make in-game adjustments. With the Lions, where I've seen the exposure is when they have mobile quarterbacks or they have the ability to let receivers have time to scramble. It has caused tremendous problems for their secondary. No matter how well the guys have played, the turnovers that they've gotten in some other times, they've really struggled, and I think they would be setting themselves up for failure if they don't say, hey, we got to make sure we don't get exposed. Be very smart about how they blitz, be very smart in how they attack the opponent, and take their chances when they take them. But right now, it's playing smart defense and keeping everything in front of them.
And Herman, I know that it's important not to overlook anybody, and right now it's all eyes on Dallas. You're still trying to get the number one seed possibly here in the NFC. But the next big goal for these Detroit Lions, other than finish the season strong and try to win out, is to get that playoff win, that first playoff win since you guys in 1993. I wasn't even alive in 1993. I haven't seen the Lions win a playoff game in my entire life. I just want to hear from you.
Somebody was thinking about it.
Yeah. I just want to hear from you. What did it mean for the city when you guys got that win, and what would it mean for the city now after this period of time if the Lions do, and I think they will, win a playoff game this season?
Let's look at this. They're playing at home. That gives you a greater potential of probability of winning if you go out and you just do what is normal. Don't make turnovers. Don't create turnovers offensively. Create turnovers defensively. Don't get caught into a lot of penalties. Play smart football. Be aggressive. Be attacking. Use your crowd, so on and so forth, right? All the home field advantage things that you get. If they do that, then their ability and their opportunities, I think, is greater than 50, 60, 70% to win, no matter who they're facing in that first game at home, because the Lions have played well, in my opinion, most of the time at home. Surprisingly, I've seen them have some of their better plays sometimes on the road, but I think the environment, the electricity, and the environment that's going to be there for them at home is just going to be unlike what we've seen since the playoff games that we had back in the 90s. So I'll say this is a team that is set up to win this game on their first playoff game, and I'm going to be cheering for that. I think everyone's looking for that. I think you'd be stupid to really root against them at home for that first game, because I just don't think they're going to leave anything on the line. Coach Campbell has given them a lot of things. He's given us a lot of sound bites, but none's going to be greater than what he tells them coming out for that first playoff game, because there is nothing to hold back on. There's no reason for him not to be over the top. You don't play for, let's save it for another day. Okay, so I'm going to be excited to see how they handle that type of unleashed attitude and will to go out there and impose that on their opponent.
That's a good point.
That's a great point. And then before we let you, because I talked about the Catchman collection and what else, but I also want to ask you the random question I always ask you every single week. If you could take any Detroit line of all time, excluding Herman Moore, the elite red zone threat, you could attach it to this Detroit Lions team to help win the Super Bowl this year, who would it be?
Come on, that's easy. That's Calvin. I mean, if you're talking receiver now, I look at it like this. Some people say, well, would you take a guy like Barry, or would you take a guy like Calvin, or would you take, this player or that player? You got to take a player where you go, listen, you need that person who can individually get it done. With the running back, it's a little different. It's hard to say I'm going to give a guy a ball and he's going to take it 80, 90 yards, right? 70 yards. But anytime you got a person that you can put down the field and you can just toss one up, Hail Mary. If I throw 4 Hail Marys, a defense is going to be very nervous on if they can even catch or knock down every Hail Mary. I'm just telling you, if you have that type of a player. So I'm taking a guy that I just know I just got to go the distance like that and toss one up. Yeah. Red zone. And plus, too, I got to show love. Barry, you my guy. Barry's my guy.
Yeah.
But I'm going to show love to the wide receivers because Amon-Ra St. Brown is setting it on fire. He's coming in. He's keeping that love alive that we've established with the receivers, as making sure we keep somebody in the books. And so I'm super proud there. So, yeah, man, get a receiver some love. They took me out of the red zone, so I'm going to put somebody back in it. I'm going to put a receiver back. Stop giving the ball to the running backs, man.
What's your favorite Calvin catch all time?
You know what? I would say a lot of people like the one when he went up. I think it was Dallas or one of them. He went up over a lot of guys. When we're big guys like that, we do what we do. But when you can do things with style, and I think it was against Green Bay, where he caught the one in the corner of the end zone, and he had it in one hand, and he was toe tapping to stay in bounds, and he still had it in his one hand when he's going down. It was just graceful. It was just smooth. And I was like, okay. That's when I started feeling. I was like, okay, Calvin Johnson. Okay, I see you. I see you, Megatron. All right, and I'm being real. Like, so you admire work, man. You admire the body of work. And a lot of people, I will say this last thing, are going to try and compare a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown and this to myself and to Calvin. And it's just no comparison because we all have our own thing. And unless the two, he's going to get taller. It's not going to happen. But it's like he's doing some things that I think shows that you can build a number one guy around consistency, around good hands and work ethic. And it's great to see what he's doing. So kudos to him as well.
For sure. I think it's a great example for like everybody on that team, because like he was with 4th round pick making all this work with just everything you said. None of that's like A1 premier like talent or size like that. It's just been consistency and just busting your ass. I think that's a great kind of type of leader to have in that locker room.
You can build them all kind of ways. But yeah, that's great. Let's keep going with it, man. And you know what? I'm loving what you guys are doing, man. Loving being on the show and breaking bread with you and talking Lions. But anytime we want to talk anything else and chop it up, let me know.
Definitely.
I'm
definitely.
game, man.
Appreciate
Hey, we still need that playlist too, man.
Yeah, the pregame playlist.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I get it to you. I got to get it to you. So you guys, when you walk me in, every hero's got to have a theme song. Got to have some theme music. So when I come rolling up in there, so
yeah, you're like a WWE
I'll
guy.
Get it for you.
Appreciate you so much, Herman.
Appreciate it.
Make sure you guys check out the Catchman collection at HermanLow.com.
HermanLow.com.
You got any?
And also they can go to HermanMoore84.com and check out some more gear there too. So, but yeah, appreciate the plugs, fellas.
Hey, no problem, man. Appreciate you, brother.
All right, 2 up, 2 down.
Yes, sir.
There it is. All right, let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also got 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And, of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
And let them know Woodward Sports sent you. Tell us about Dispo.
Dispo Dispensary is the best in the business. They got the finest curated cannabis, any type of cannabis product you're looking for. Lotions, creams, cheese puffs, pretzels, edibles, lemonade, whatever you're looking for, Dispo Dispensary's got it. And the Cannabis Mall, the first of its kind, is open till midnight. Check them out in Romeo. That's Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Don't fucking
Mark White is where you need to be. If you come on, man, what is wrong with you? Mark White is where you guys need to go if you're looking to move or make a move into Michigan next to Detroit Lions. Root out for your Detroit Lions. If you want to purchase that house in Green Bay and make a Detroit Lions party house, it's markwhitesales.com. Give them a call at 248-290-8242 and you can save you up to $5,000 on your closing costs. It's $5,000 on your closing costs. markwhitesales.com.
Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service the customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you share the stream. Tell your friends. Tell your grandma. Tell your hot aunt. I am Spencer Axter. That is Eazy. We got Chris Platte. We got Mike Gentry. We just had Herman Moore. So if you want to hear that, you just got to rewind a little bit. Herman Moore breaking down what it means to the Lions to win the division, what it will mean to win a playoff game, what they need to do to beat Dallas, potentially get that number 1 seed. Great interview as always with the legendary receiver Herman
How dope
Moore.
was that? Getting to hear him like I show some love to Calvin there for a minute.
Yeah.
It's kind of just reaffirmed. I mean, obviously, you know Calvin's special, but like to hear a guy like Herman speak it as a special receiver himself just reaffirms everything.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
I mean, he picked him over Barry. Barry's his teammate.
Yeah.
Not just like all-time great, his literal teammate. That's pretty awesome.
It's fair. I mean, we got Gibbs. We don't got Calvin.
I like Gibbs, though.
I like Gibbs, too.
I didn't want to annoy Herman, but like, man.
That move. Again,
we should have asked him.
We should have asked him.
That's my bad.
You should have asked him. You said you were going to.
I didn't want to annoy him with it because I kind of asked him last time. So it is what it is, I guess. What?
Nothing. What do you want to talk about, J-Mo?
We didn't do the defense. We could talk about that.
J-Mo defense.
What player you'd like to rush back from injury? I mean, you're driving today. You tell me.
Okay, what player would you like to rush back from injury? If you could have one injured Detroit Lion, 100% healthy, full strength, ready to go tomorrow,
right, Neo,
who would you pick and why? I think there's an obvious answer.
Is it? I don't know if it is.
I think there is.
If I could pick one Detroit Lion that's currently injured and is roughly
currently
100%
injured,
health,
have him poof, 100% health.
I feel like I know your answer because you're biased. But
you want me to throw out
you definitely don't know my answer.
I'm gonna pick out.
My answer is.
I'm gonna pick out James Houston.
Yeah, that's the answer.
That's the answer. That's
the
problem.
100%. That is the problem.
That is the problem. I'm picking James Houston. I thought you were gonna pick your boy Aleem for sure, but
no, Aleem's not. I mean, he's not significantly injured. Like we heard Nolan say, like when Aleem's done with his IR stint, he's going to be ready to go right when he comes back.
Yeah.
So it's not like he suffered a tear or a break or anything. It was just a sprain.
Denver Blair says CJ we paid him $10
Oh,
or $10
Dark
million.
Cash. That is a good one.
What?
Phil and Dark Cash. I didn't even think about that.
Who?
Mosley.
Oh yeah, I didn't
even think about that.
That actually might be the
That's
answer.
the one for sure. Because
That-
Houston's coming back. Mosley's not. I didn't even think about that.
Bro, especially if he's going to be as good as like they're hyping him up to be.
That is 100% the answer. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Because you're talking about like a guy
Houston's
coming
back. Mosley's not.
Yeah.
Wow. Good job, Chad.
I was gonna say too, because like he was supposed to be like DB1 over there in San Fran, and obviously San Fran's got a phenomenal secondary, phenomenal defense in general. What do you mean Ward's a dog?
Yeah.
Funga's hurt. I don't even know who their other DB is, to be honest with you. But him being DB1 over there, that's something prideful, and have him because listen, I know Sutton has moments. I think any cornerback's gonna have his moments in the NFL. It's a tough league to play, especially going against a guy like Justin Jefferson. Like that, things are gonna happen against Justin Jefferson. He's that level of wide receiver. But man, him and Sutton healthy,
it's gotta be Mosley.
Bro, I've been so dirty if they were healthy, man. I'm sick right now. He's a bigger bodied guy too.
And Houston, if he was healthy.
You know how we have that like stupid, like weird thing? Well, it's not stupid or weird. I believe in it wholeheartedly. But like, if you have a quarterback that's talking his shit, usually means he's walking his shit. Correct me if I'm wrong. Can the same theory be had for like the arm sleeve? I feel like if a DB's out there with the arm sleeve,
Oh, if they got the arm sleeve,
the shooting sleeve, like I feel like they're nice.
Look good, feel good, play good.
I'm just saying, man. I'm gonna make a poll.
That's such a good
point.
point. I didn't even think about that.
All right, we'll carry on about James Houston though, because that was your answer.
Lunchbox Hooligan says Kabinda. Did you see them blocks? He could also get you negative rushing.
He could drop a million balls for you.
That's fair. No, it's gotta be Mosley because, like you said, Houston and Aleem are coming back. CD Deuce is basically already back. Mosley is not coming back this year, no matter what. If you could fix his knee, he's ready to go tomorrow, I'm doing it for sure. That would be so big to have him on the opposite side. Vilder's been nice, like in what I've seen. I like what I've seen. Solid tackler. He makes some good plays.
Oh yeah.
But Mosley would be different, man.
Chris, who's it for you?
I mean, I'm with you guys. James Houston to start, and then once Mosley is mentioned, that's the move. But I think to speak on the James Houston part, I mean, I think that really allows you to see what Hutchinson is, because I feel like, there's this pressure on Hutch to be, Bosa, to be one of the best guys that could just, Max Crosby, that could just get it done all by himself. When in reality, I want to see what he's like with James Houston for a full season. Obviously, we didn't get that last season, and we won't get that this season. But that's where I'm looking at. How good can Hutch be when he has somebody on the opposite side at the caliber of Houston? And, like we've said it before, I mean, if you just don't give the quarterbacks time to throw, that can mask a lot of the weaknesses in the secondary. And then if they're second guessing and they're just throwing things and getting rid of the ball quickly, that's when the playmakers like Kirby Joseph, like CJ DJ coming back, Brian Branch, that's when those guys can make the plays that they've shown they can make all season. So to me, every defense starts with rushing the passer. So it's essential.
You talk about opening up Hutch, but I mean, I think Houston himself, just like when Hutch is getting those triple-double teams, we've been asking for somebody to beat their one-on-one matchup, but that's what Houston gives you. It's like, and he's like a playmaker when he gets there too. Like he's had some of like the most violent, ferocious tackles I think we've seen all for the Detroit Lions last year. It's not even necessarily like he's just like clobbering guys and smashing them in the ground, which when he gets there with intent. He's slapping the ball away or he's ripping your knee off. He is. Listen, that'd be number 2 for me for sure. Mike, I know you couldn't hear when we were initially discussing it, but if you could bring back one Detroit Lion that's like currently injured onto the healthy roster right now to help win the Super Bowl, who would it be?
And we're counting Gardner Johnson as fully healthy?
Yeah, right now we got a poll. We got Houston, Manuel Mosley, CJ GJ, and McNeil.
Man, that's tough.
It's tough.
I mean, the secondary's been playing pretty well without CJ, but I definitely want him back in there. Well, obviously, like if he stepped up, I mean, but I'm gonna say, yeah, it has to be James Houston. I think I didn't listen to all of Chris's comments, but
no one ever does.
I wasn't here, but no, James Houston getting to the pass and getting to the quarterback and helping out with the pass rush and being on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, that would probably be mine for sure.
Couple comments in the Woodward Sports chat. I want to find them. Got one, obviously, made a Mosley. A lot of Mosleys. the Cabinda one's obviously pretty funny. You sure it's not Cabinda for you, Mike?
I know you're a big Cabinda guy.
No, I know someone at this network was a fan of him.
How about the question we asked her? If you could take any Detroit Lion like all time to add to this team right now to help win the Super Bowl, who would that be?
Ooh. Matthew Stafford. No, I'm just kidding.
Not a bad one.
That's not a bad one.
It's not bad.
I was gonna say my boy, show my boy Milt some love, but maybe it is Matt Stafford.
Well, I think it's got to be
Stafford and J would be dirty. That's why when you say that, I'm like, I don't mind.
I think it's got to be Prime
Defense.
Sue.
Yeah.
You know,
From accounting?
Robert Porcher, Night Train Lane, Darius Slay, one of those guys. It's got to be a defender.
I think it's Sue.
For me, it's Sue.
Yeah.
But I know I'm biased in that. It's like one of my favorite all time, like Detroit Lions, like ever and ever. Like, and obviously you got Hutch eating like double teams. Pfft. Come on,
And then can you imagine?
He is not seeing those blocking
Houston-
assignments if Sue's in the middle.
With Houston too on the other edge.
Oh
man,
Fake
that would be
Booner
so
said
sweet.
Jason Hansen.
It's fair.
Yeah.
No.
That's fair. That's fair.
And we're getting a point every possession.
Broder from the Woodward Night Show coming up at 8 p.m. tonight. Make sure you guys tap in for that when he says Robert Porcher.
Yeah, Robert Porcher would be
I'm
top
just
of
not
my
as
list.
familiar.
Huh?
I'm just not as familiar
I ain't
with
familiar
his
with
game.
your game.
He was a
player.
dog, man.
I know he was. I mean, he played with Herman though, didn't he?
Mhm.
Or just before? I mean, for Herman to say Calvin, maybe that's the answer.
I don't know. It's kind of biased wide receiver.
Yeah.
Wide receiver on wide receiver crime.
That's fair. Wide receivers are always kind of biased in this sense.
Yeah, no, he played with Herm.
Mike G says Megatron.
He had what?
Charles Lee says Darius Slay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons of 10 or more sacks.
Who
3 Pro
who's
Bowls.
Jerry Ball? Is that a real
Ball
human?
with the ball.
Ball with the ball.
Jerry Ball.
What about
Unfamiliar with their game, sir. Ryan's Lion says Chris Spielman. Lim Barney.
Joe
says Phil.
Schmidt? Lem Barney would be a good one too.
What did he play again? Defense, right?
Who?
Lim Barney.
Yeah, he was corner.
That's right.
Dan
That was the
Campbell,
one we watched
player
at Disco,
coach.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a dog.
Lem Barney would be a good one.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, player coach.
Player coach Dan Campbell.
Let's be real. Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson's offense is eating just as much as Brock Wright, which is
Yeah.
Brock Wright got down every once in a while.
Burners. Brock Wright's.
Burners.
I love Brock
No,
Wright,
Burners.
but he's a slow.
No Burner.
He's a slow guy. He's a slow guy.
Dude, he took
Wright?
off.
Yeah. Slow guy.
He got golf 50 yards a yak.
Yeah, he took off on that fake play. You can't.
Do you
lie.
wish they made that a separate stat for quarterbacks?
Yak yards.
Yeah, I do. Like give them air yards and then yak yards.
That's a bit much.
A bit much.
No, I think it.
I think it's fair.
I think it's a bit. That's a bit much.
I mean, with receivers get
don't-
yak yards.
Don't put it.
They don't
put
have
it
a
front
there's not a
page.
separate stat.
Don't put it front page, but like have it in the like advanced analytics or whatever. Like
When you look at
love for that
your
to be
receiver stat line, it doesn't say yak yards. It just says yards.
Well, I would like for air yards to be a thing, and I would like for
I agree.
Totally.
Of course you would.
Hell yeah, I'm a
Chris-
quarterback hater.
Chris, tell us about
It's confirmed.
Glorious.
I'm no shame.
Glorious Cannabis is back with a new iced water bubble hash infused pre-roll called a Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, nice, aggressive strain named in honor of your Detroit football. You can get one of these ice water pre-rolls at Dispo Dispensary today. They are so smooth, and you can get them for 25% off using promo code Woodward at checkout. Visit gloriouscanna.com today.
home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Playtime is not Outdoor Equipment Company is your source.
What?
For outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts. Carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, LS Tractor, Steel, and more. Servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Co., your power equipment playground.
Oh, mama. Well, spinning.
Well, Easy.
Head over to Vikings YouTube.
Or can I just do Twitter?
Vikings Twitter.
I'm gonna find a Vikings. Talk for a second. I'll find.
So we had this idea that Spinny has he's nice with the accents. I'm not gonna lie. He has a little bit of
Hey,
I don't know the word.
Give yourself some credit. You're pretty good.
What'd you say?
I said you're pretty good too.
Yeah, multiple personality disorder. You know?
Gentry loved my Russian accent.
Oh yeah, dude, I asked him to talk into that like
That was
4
his
times
favorite.
a day. Like, Spenny, why are you not talking Russian?
That's why Gentry's such a hockey fan. He loves the Russians. But either way, we had this idea of Spinny was going to read some angry Viking fan comments in Minnesota accent. So he's currently searching Twitter to find an angry Viking fan. I guess one of their like content creators? It's like FTW Vikings or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I guess like he's like a real life like pedo shit.
No way.
I swear.
He got exposed.
I can't confirm. I didn't look at it myself, but that's what they've been like calling him in the comments and the chats and shit like that. And it's kind of wild. Just go to his page.
All right, I'm under the TJ Hawkinson injury post.
Okay. Angry Viking fan.
All right. Oh, don't you know? Any Lions fan I see, I'm going straight for their knees. That's more
Canadian.
Yeah.
Scott. Well, it is pretty Canadian.
It is kind of Canadian. Scandinavian.
Oh, don't you know?
It's kind of. It's like a.
We're coming over here.
Do you think Vikings sounded like that?
No.
That makes them way less scary. If
that's
how
not how Vikings sounded.
Imagine Vikings
Have you
like
heard,
pull up the shore like, yeah, we're gonna kick your ass.
Have you heard the Shane Gillis Gay Vikings?
No.
Skit where he talks about, he's like, imagine how much scarier that would be.
Be really scary.
Because like you're on the village and you see a Viking longship coming and you're like, oh no, they're gonna assault our women and our wives and daughters, and then the rainbow flag comes up. You're like, fuck. Like, that's way worse. But no, that's not how Vikings sounded. Vikings were from
Scandinavia.
Scandinavia, yeah.
But is that like a Scandinavian accent?
Saskatchewan,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. What the Vikings pulled up talking like that?
No.
We're gonna kick your ass,
dude. You should watch Vikings. It's a dope show.
We're gonna kick your ass. We're gonna kick your ass, Shorzy.
Hey, Petey, why don't you go fuck your mother? No, they did not sound
like a bunch of Mortys.
Vinland Saga. Yeah, Vinland Saga's fire.
What?
Vinland Saga, it's an anime about Vikings. Very good.
What would Disney do with the Eazy character?
Oh man,
what kind of question is that?
They'd burn it. They wouldn't be able. Disney would not be able to put an Eazy character out there.
No, dude, I'm way too cancelable.
But you should watch Vikings, the show, or
a Finnish accent,
or The Last Kingdom.
We started watching one at your house all fucked up.
Yeah, that was The Last Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, that was good. That's a good show.
And we didn't even watch it the whole time. Me and you were just talking about games of their own.
Yeah.
I got to get down to the bottom of the Viking accent. I feel like, what's a Scandinavian accent? It's kind of Minnesota-ish, right?
I don't think it's that high pitched though.
Isn't that weird? Like some accents do come with the high pitch though.
Yeah.
So what is a Scandinavian accent? Try one. Do it. Try one.
Scandinavian accent.
Yeah.
We're from the land of Vikings. I have no idea.
Mike, you got anything tonight?
Odin's son crashes down upon you with a shivering wave. Have you ever played Valhalla, Assassin's Creed Valhalla?
That sounds lit. No, I have not.
Or God of War Valhalla?
Someone said they should make that a movie.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or God of War?
Yeah.
I think they're making it a TV show, I think.
Hold on.
This lesson is designed to help the speaker affect a Scandinavian accent. Using key
Yeah, but that's like a nerd Scandinavian. Imagine like a fucking...
Bro, Vikings talk like this,
No,
man?
that's a nerd, bro.
No.
That is literally a
Don't
nerd that's
defend
reading
this
it.
shit right now.
I'm just saying.
You don't
That's
know what
a
this guy looks like right now. He's jacked.
Yeah, but he's a nerd.
He's jacked.
No, he's not. You're lying. He's wearing
He's
glasses and a suit shirt.
He is wearing a suit shirt. He's not wearing glasses.
I'm telling you, that's a nerd. Imagine a motherfucker that's been out on the seas all day, fucking pillaging and beeping whatever he wants.
All right, let's try this guy. This guy looks less nerdy. Let's see what he says.
No, I wouldn't say so because we did that on the request. The pound is down a tenth of a cent at €1.33, making.
They're talking about money in stocks. Those aren't Vikings.
Yeah, he has the Viking head though. It's pretty big.
82.
Just be the only competition where the winner has to.
The winner has to come over here and sit on the line.
Way less scary, bro. I'm just saying. Maybe that's why they were so tough, because no one took them serious. They get like fucking. They had to do like the most ruthless shit to prove like how tough they were.
Yeah. You don't think we're tough, huh, bud? Wait until I come over there and show you what's what.
Exactly.
But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights. Make sure you like and share the stream. For Eazy, for Gentry, for Platte, I'm Raxter. We are the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
This guy will not stop coming, dude.